What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 89 of Lured Up, the podcast where we... Adam, always fucking up the intro.
Hey, I'm trying.
Dude!
He doesn't say anything for the rest of the fucking podcast.
All right, radio silence.
The podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves, clearly.
Like I do.
Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network. Today is Sunday, July 28th, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator. Hello, friends.
Hi there.
What's
Hi, guys.
going on?
And we're not alone today. We also have a guest. We are joined by Jan Ochoa from the Giant Bombcast.
Yay!
Giant Bomb. What's going on, Jan? How
Hello,
are you,
Jan.
man?
What's going on, guys?
Dude.
Happy 8-9,
Yes,
y'all.
Thank you.
we're fucking psyched to have you on, dude. I'm containing the fangirl. I guess I'm not containing it.
Well,
I'm incredibly hyped as well. Like I feel overheated right now with all the hype that's going on that I'm periodically shedding more clothes.
I love this.
That's awesome. And just so you know, man, we're going to get into it, but both Adam, Melissa, and I have strong Pokemon TCG backgrounds, and I've seen that the fever, you have caught the fever very fucking bad because I've been following your Twitter, and we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, the rabbit hole is real. I've seen from your feed. So we'll get there. We'll get there in just a second. Little housekeeping really quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout-out to our show supporter tier patrons. Brittany, Jay, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, Pokenabot, Purple Pancakes, Them Gears Be Bangin', Lady Goobly Meat, Super Nerd, Fox, Go Ranger, Matt, Reversal, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Jolt Switch, and Alex.
Oh, you
I
guys.
did it. I fucking did it.
I love it
What are
when
you
you
going to
did
do
that.
when it gets a little bit longer?
I don't know.
You're
I don't
doomed.
know. Yeah,
You're
it's a
gonna-
good problem to fucking have. And a huge shout out to our executive producer, Paul Bott, and our Elite Four patron, Jessica Pfeiffer. Thank you guys so
many
incredibly
hearts.
much. If Patreon isn't your thing, no big deal. There's a few other ways you can help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, press the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you're listening on a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, take a moment to leave us a review. 5 stars are the best stars. Thank y'all. All right, on today's show, we're going to get to know Jan. We're going to talk about Team Rocket, Team Go Rocket. It's fucking madness right now in Pokemon Go, so we'll get caught up with everything that's going on. There was a soft launch. It kind of got dialed back. We have new shinies, new special research, the best fucking marketing campaign ever that ended in the ultimate Team Rocket troll. We're going to follow up on our conversation from last week about PvP IVs. I think we might have gotten a little bit disconnected from the real core of IVs when it comes to PvP, and I think I might be part of the problem discouraging people from getting into PvP. So we'll get caught up with that, and then we'll wrap up with a Hypno battle party and raid guide. Whoop whoop. All right, Jan Ochoa, what's going on, man? Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself, give us a little history about yourself, and then we'll start digging into your work, and we'll go from there, man.
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Jan Ochoa. I am a video producer at giantbomb.com. It's a website about video games. Occasionally, most of the time.
Food,
whatever they'll let me press record on lately. But yeah, prior to Giant Bomb, I've primarily done a lot of video in a bunch of random places. Most notably, I've been a cameraman for Mythbusters. I've been a producer, editor, camera guy for a company called Megabots. Megabots was a company that was trying to build a giant robot to fight Japan because why not?
Yes.
And I've done a bunch of random camera work, a bunch of random miscellaneous work on like a bunch of random crap. Like I was a camera guy for a real estate show. I did some work on the last Power Rangers movie for a day.
Yes.
Hey, that's
I worked on Rogue One. I helped make Darth Vader's fog, so shout outs to that.
Awesome.
nice.
And yeah, just a bunch of various random stuff. Just a bunch of random crap, and it has somehow led me to Giant Bomb. I guess because Mythbusters would blow up stuff, I just thought, and I felt at home with them, I thought, why not go with the next logical thing and work for a company where it's literally called Giant Bomb?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Makes
That's
sense.
so cool.
It's totally logical.
So, like, how did it even come to be coming out of television and entertainment production and moving over to the game space? I mean, I'm sure growing up, and just as a human being, you were a gamer, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely. It was such a weird switch. I guess because growing up in San Francisco, just happened to be at the right place. Maybe not necessarily the right time all the time, but growing up, when I found out that a lot of these magazines or video game websites were based out of San Francisco, I was like, holy smokes, y'all, I can stay here and maybe work in the games industry. And then I figured, okay, I don't write that well, but I can hold a camera well. And then, when GameSpot, when Jeff was rolling out with On the Spot and everything, with the OG crew starting video there, and then the 1UP guys were starting the 1UP show and various EGM related stuff, I was like, okay, all right, we can make videos about video games. And then I think it was like around that same time, maybe a couple of years later, G4 was popping up, and it was a whole channel dedicated to freaking video games. So I thought, okay, there may be a future here. And then I don't think I've told that many people this, but I actually applied for a internship at 1UP before they closed down. Yes, as a video intern, but I didn't get it, and that kind of discouraged me for a while. And so, like, after I graduated from school, I was like, you know what? We'll just see where the cards land. And the cards landed in all this random stuff. And so the weird thing is that I feel like I've always kind of been skirting around Giant Bomb. I have been like a lifelong fan since the site started, but Adam Savage of Mythbusters, I think he had bought out Tested.com, which used to be part of Whiskey Media, with Giant Bomb. So I'd occasionally see Will and Norm from Tested.com around like the Mythbusters studio and be like, oh my God, they know Jeff, Brad, and everyone. Like, maybe I got to get in with them to get in with them. And then it was so weird how, like, kind of like Kevin Bacon's 7 Degrees of Separation I always was from Giant Bomb. And then, when the spot eventually opened up, I was like, okay, well, all this random video crap is cool. The robots are cool. The explosions are cool. But Giant Bomb's where I've wanted to be for forever. So let's fucking go.
Hell
dude,
yeah.
That is so cool, man. That is, and you ready for some Kevin Bacon, 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon shit?
Hell yeah, let's go.
My brother's roommate in college, the creator of 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
What? Shit.
Some cosmic shit. But no, that's absolutely amazing, man. And I think that, whenever I hear stories like this of how shit comes full circle and being a fan, I mean, that's kind of how I even got into podcasting.
Hell yeah.
Before the show, we were talking about, how I had a connection with Kinda Funny and working with Greg Miller, and that was through the Toys for Games cast, which I was the community manager of, and that was like all about Toys to Life gaming, Skylanders, Disney Infinity, that whole scene, Lego Dimensions, all that. That's how I met Adam, our co-host here, as a fan. And, it was like this, everything is kind of piled on and come full circle. The host of the Toys for Games cast, who did a PAX panel with Greg Miller for Lego Dimensions, is now the host of a TCG podcast with Adam on my Pokemon Professor Network. So it's like everything is kind of amalgamated into, all coming full circle. So
yeah, and it's like I had been listening to Josh from Toys for Games for years, and I've been interacting with Ken for years, and then all of a sudden it just happens. He goes, "Hey, I love what you do on Instagram. How about you come help work with me?" And I was like, "Yes."
I love it. I love it.
That's the I think that's kind of the heart and nature and soul of, the gaming community. And I'm, I've talked about it on past shows where I get super campy and emotional about it, but that's what it's all fucking about. And when it comes down to Pokemon too, that's kind of something that is inherent in the nature and culture of Pokemon at large. And kind of the, from the early days of Game Freak, that was important with their mission statement of, learning about friend connections and love and respect and all that kind of good stuff. And, how that transferred into like the TCG professor program and the moral pillars that's built on and all that good stuff. It's, it's pretty cool. But that's amazing to hear how, your fandom kind of transformed into working there. That's really freaking cool.
I like to, as the kids say, #blessed.
Yes,
Aw,
that's
that's sweet.
that's awesome. So, and what's your history with the Pokemon franchise? Because whether it's intentional or not, the Pokemon community is always searching for ambassadors of some degree when it comes to
100%.
the gaming media space. So it's like whenever I hear anyone talking Pokemon in the greater gaming media, it's like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. So what's your history with the franchise?
I think maybe I'm just gonna broad assumption. All of us may have gotten interested in Pokemon with the original Red Blue or Red Green,
Sure.
and the original anime. So that was the initial starting point, and from there it kind of like took off until the third generation. Well, no, I kind of dipped after Johto, but then when Diamond and Pearl came out, was back on board, and after that, kind of just may not have followed the scene as deeply as I do now. But always like tangentially, like, oh, okay, that's what's going on over there. All right, that pig is on fire. Cool. All right, that's a seal. That's cool. All right, Poplio, nice. Oh, that's a frog. Nice, cool. But yeah, since I've gone back into Pokemon now, I've revisited Gen 5 and 6 and all the other stuff that I've missed, and I was like, oh wow, like this is still great. I would have loved this if I had still stayed in it at the time.
Well, I think that's the natural ebb and flow of Pokemon, and one of the cool things about it is people can emotionally come and go to the franchise, and they're always welcomed back. So,
Yes.
I mean, I'm the same way. Melissa was huge with the anime in the beginning. I was huge with the TCG. Everyone, in our circles kind of had that Gen 3 drop off. You know what I mean? And then, you kind of work your way back, and then since Gen 6, we've kind of been, gung ho. And then with the release of Pokemon Go, it's been the lifestyle. So that's awesome. I mean, were you a red or blue?
Ooh, I was a rebel. Well, okay. So I started out blue, and I picked Squirtle because for whatever reason, I felt like I had to pick Squirtle because it was blue. But then my dumb butt, as however old I was, I accidentally, I don't know how, but I corrupted my save.
Oh no!
And then I was traumatized, and then like I just didn't want to play for like a couple months, and I was like, you know what, like all my friends are trading Pokemon, and I can't participate. I got to pick it back up, and then in an act of defiance, I picked Charmander, even though I had Pokemon Blue.
That's awesome.
And I was like, you know what, maybe it was Squirtle's fault. Maybe it was that turtle that messed me up.
Squirtle. Damn
Hashtag blame
Squirtle.
Hashtag
That's
Squirtle
awesome.
Squad.
Well, and I think that, that journey, 20 some years ago or however long it was, came really full circle. Now, one of, as a huge Giant Bomb fan and a big fan of the Bombcast, one of my favorite times of the year is the Game of the Year time and,
Yes.
hearing everybody's top 10. And I think that your top 10 from last year is a pretty awesome kind of snapshot of where you're at with the franchise because
Thank you.
Your number 10 game was Pokemon Go and your number 1 game was Pokemon Let's Go. So
it was a nice sandwich.
Dude, that was awesome. And I was just like, fuck yeah, we went with Let's Go. I was so hyped. Like, I was so excited, and hearing it, everyone else talk about these big AAA games and oddball, little games and PC games that I have absolutely no connection to at all. And, all this shit. And I was like, yeah, fucking Let's Go is his number 1. I was like, hell freaking yeah. So it's very awesome to hear, someone in big games media, repping Pokemon. So thank you for that. And kudos for that.
I got to rep the set.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So let me talk about the Bombcast real quick because I'm
Yes.
a podcast nerd. I love the format. I'm an advocate of the format. And we're working with podcasts with, 2 hosts, 3 hosts, 3 hosts plus a guest. You guys it's always a fucking party. Like you always have a full house. Like it's always a full room and you work the boards too sometimes. Like you're on the gears.
Majority of the time. 98% of the time.
That's the majority.
yeah. Math, not a strong suit.
But I mean, is it challenging working with so many different people and not like everyone's got such strong will, like type A personalities? Like how do you maintain not having everyone steamroll each other and like talk? That's got to be crazy.
Man, it is something else because we'll have specifically on the Bombcast, the regular crew is Jeff, Brad, Jason, Ben, and myself will, okay, and that is a lot of people for a podcast when I think about it. And everyone just speaks at different volumes and cadences. Like Jeff and Ben will be like yelling, or occasionally like yell out loud, "Fuck you, I'll burn your house down." Or, Brad will interject with something, but Jason speaks very softly.
Right.
Like I need to boost his audio up. And then I also forget, on top of managing their levels, we have a video portion of the podcast. So I also have to, make sure the camera is on the right person talking and that I haven't left it on the wrong shot for the past 10 minutes. And then I also forget. And then I have started to, for our video viewers, I've started to add in the video game or whatever topic we're talking about to help people follow along. Because, sometimes you just stop listening for maybe like 5-10 seconds and you're like, wait, what game are we talking about now?
What happened?
Yeah.
I've been laughing the past couple episodes because I've heard that like the record stop, like hard stop. What game are we talking about again? Like for the people in the back.
And then I'll realize, holy shit, for the past like 10-15 minutes, there's a giant typo in this game. And it's like, I got to fix that now. And then after all of that has processed in my head, I have to remember, wait a minute, I am also on the show. I should say something.
That's so wild. That's so
and it gets, it gets so
multitasking to the fullest.
It gets crazy when we do our Game of the Year podcast, because now we're stuffing the East Coast in, so it's like 9+ people in that little studio, and it gets hot.
I was going to say, I could feel the heat. When I hear you guys, I could just feel the sweat, building, and it's like, it's so funny.
Yeah, between lights and everybody talking and just the excitement and the energy. And
Yeah, I have half a mind to just turn off all the lights.
Everybody in the dark. So, being around these uber techie guys, and they're talking about fucking circuit boards and hacking and all this crazy shit, and then you're talking about your experiences raiding in Pokemon Go. How does this go over when you're in that environment? Because it's always intriguing to me, because it seems like it's so distant and far from their comfort zone and their perspective that they engage with it, and I'm like, oh shit, he's talking about fucking raiding. Like this is the Giant Bombcast, and he's talking about like, communities, giving each other shit and all that good stuff.
I think that's the beauty of the Bombcast, in that, yes, it has the regimented segments of like what you've been playing, news, emails, but in between all that, there's the space and freedom to like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And there's totally the times where let's talk about how you soldered something, or let's talk about your time at the county fair. Jan, what are you doing? And then I think like if you just roll up impassioned enough about like, yo, I saw some weird shit while I was raiding. By the way, let me tell you what raiding is about in Pokemon. They're like all ears. Also because it is such a foreign thing to the rest of the crew that it just piques their interest.
Yeah. That's something I've noticed, and it's just like, because I live this shit, and when I hear, I listen to 5 different Pokemon Go podcasts, on the regular, and I listen to a couple different gaming podcasts, and it's like, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny is like on the Pokemon Go train right now, and I'm like, oh shit, this is amazing. It's like infiltrating Kinda Funny content, but then when I hear it on Giant Bomb, because you guys have your own dynamic about, how special gaming is at large. Yeah. It's like they're really fucking engaged. Like they're actually listening. Like this is really freaking cool.
And especially because of how much we rag on San Francisco and how much of a desolate wasteland it is. And I love the city, but it totally is a desolate wasteland at times. I feel like they just imagine me in like a Mad Max scenario, like roving the streets with my girlfriend, raiding.
Wearing spiked shoulder pads.
I swear, I was thinking the same thing. And chains dragging behind you.
Exactly. Just a guy's chained to a truck playing guitar, shooting fire.
Throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah. Spiked Pokeballs. So let me shift gears here and talk about this, because I have been following your Twitter feed. The TCG.
I'm sorry.
And I've seen the slow descent into madness where it's like a picture of a single card, and then a booster pack, and then a booster box, and then a bag filled with boosters with like a message saying like, please help me. How is the TCG kind of changed for you? Like, were you into the cards when you were younger, or is this kind of new?
It's a brand new world for me.
Oh no, you're doomed.
Yeah, you are doomed.
Because
I
the
kid
cards
you
are
not.
so
I've been
rad right
I've been
now.
trying to get away from it for years, and
please, you just started the podcast about it.
Yes, because I've been trying to
because he's doomed
in
too.
and out. I thought like, oh, let me just do podcast it, and then I'm like, well, I want to play the card game to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh God, well. So I never got into it when the TCG originally came out. I think just because all the popular kids like were just flaunting off their cards, and there were bullies that were taking cards from people, and I kind of didn't want to get mixed up with that. But the longest relationship I've had is with my barber, and my barber, fantastic human being, also named Jan. He's been trying to get me into Pokemon cards for the longest time, and he's talked about like, hey man, you want to go to Pokemon Worlds with me? You want to roll up? You want to help me practice? And I'll be like, I'm busy this weekend. Sorry, bro. But yeah, like I mentioned on the Bombcast, like he had just been ticking away at me over the years, and then just passing by the checkout stands at Target, and I was like, you know what, like, those cards look really cool. Maybe I'll try them out.
Yo, I'm telling you, Target does it. Target does it.
Oh my God.
Because they have those impulse shelves at the fucking checkout. It's like,
it's terrible.
They're like, this one comes with a coin. This one comes with a promo.
I want the pin.
Not only do I need gum and chapstick, but I need all these booster packs. And then, yeah, like it started with just a booster pack. And then I saw like, oh, there's an online game. That's cool. And then I started Yelping game stores in the Bay Area. And then I saw like, oh, well, you got an Elite Trainer box. I've never seen that in a store. Let's buy that. Yeah. And then I went on the dollar store hunt of single packs.
Okay, question. Because,
yes,
I just quickly counted, but it looks like there was about 57 of them. And then you posted the polls.
The picture in the Twitter pic?
Yeah,
Twitter
and then
picture?
you posted the polls. Now, did you actually get those out of the dollar store packs?
So I bought 88 packs.
80.
And I mean, it's
well, there's a lot that
I'm
are
not
hidden.
the best. Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
I don't know how deep that.
And I mean,
goes.
dollar store. Most things are $1, so you can infer that I spent $88 on fucking dollar packs. But yeah, those were the actual pulls from those dollar store packs.
I've never pulled anything nice out of there. I've only pulled a reverse holo
That's
common.
because you didn't buy 88 at one time.
Well, and then I will just
thing.
let you know that you did make your money back, because the Dedenes each are like $20. The Reshiram Charizard's about $20 each.
Oh man, goodbye student loans.
This is the this is like it's like when people try to rationalize like shitty decisions in their life. It's like, dude, it's okay. The Dedene's worth 20.
Adam, you're not helping me, man. You're not helping.
Yeah, like I saw like a full art one online, and those ones are going roughly for 25, and I saw it for 18. So I was like, oh, that's such a good deal. I'm just getting it.
I'm losing money by not buying this at this discounted rate.
Yeah, that was my rationale. And then I thought, like, I've never gotten anything good from a normal booster pack. Let's just buy 88 of these.
I can picture you, like, putting your forearm on the shelf and just running down the aisle with holding the cart out, just, like, pushing everything into the cart. So good. So supermarket sweep.
What's even worse is that my girlfriend was with me at the time, and I was just going to buy 20 packs. And then she was like, no, just don't buy just 20. Buy them all.
Oh, she's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
No,
and
that's good.
She liked them too. Or?
That's good.
She just likes opening them with me, but she has like no interest in playing the actual game at all.
That's so funny. That's how I am. Like, I like opening them and hoping I get a really good one. And if I get like a pretty one or one that I really like, then I put them in my binder.
Yeah, and then
the rest I'm like, here, you can fucking have these. I don't give a fuck about them. I got no time to play the game.
And then she asked the manager of the store, it's like, hey, when do you get your shipment? And then it's like, oh, And then she gave them my phone number.
She's setting you up. That's so terrible.
So now I'll get like these weekly calls from this dollar store manager saying like, "Hey, is this Jan? Yeah. We got your shipment of cards in. Do you want me to hold them for you or no?"
Wow.
That's so funny. Well, at least
terrible.
now
And
you
you're
have
like,
the option.
yes, hold half the box
Yes.
for me. I'm
This
coming in
week,
right
yes.
now.
Yes, and some Mylar balloons and some other dollar store knickknacks.
They're always out of helium. I can't get my balloons, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
always out of helium.
some honey roasted nuts. I'm gonna need some olives and an oven mitt. I need an oven mitt.
Yes,
That I shouldn't use as an actual oven.
No, it will burn your
It
hand
just
and
burn
melt,
your
and then like
hands
the fucking
every
chemicals, chemical burns. But that's all. So, have you been playing the online game? Are you actually like getting into the game itself, or are you still in the I just collect and like pretty shiny things phase?
Oh man, like I'll go through a couple rounds of the online game a day, try to get some wins in if I can. See, the bummer with those fucking dollar store packs is that they don't come with any codes.
No code, right?
And I was trying to justify it of like, well, if I'm gonna get codes from all these dollar store packs, it'll be good for the online stuff. Lo and behold, no online packs. But then I thought, what if I just go to eBay and buy a stack of online codes for the game?
Oh my god!
I have not pulled that trigger yet, but
Do
Don't
you need
do
me
it.
to
Feel
send you
about
a picture of some codes or something?
No, but dude,
No, don't.
Honestly, if you do want to play the online game, that buying the codes is really the best fucking way to do it. Because
Don't tell him that.
No, but I'm telling
Stop.
you, it really is. And then also the trick, man, is you use the in-game trading marketplace, right? And then if you're trying to build out a specific deck, you can trade away full booster codes for specific single cards.
oh, see, that's what I'm doing wrong then because I keep
Yeah.
opening them because I'm
No,
a addict at this
yeah.
point.
So it's like you're like, I'm
See, he's already an addict.
Like
You're
like
cheating.
anything that's out of format, like anything that's not in the standard format, I will just leave in a pack and I will put it up for trades and then just go and you can do a filter where it's like only show me available trades.
Oh no, this is the worst news.
You're like,
That I've
I've done it
learned today.
wrong for you.
No, and that's the way to do it because like if you're, I remember I was on the hunt for, Guzma. I needed 4 Guzma when it was still in format.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can't fucking, I'm opening all these boosters. I'm not getting shit. And it was just like, I have I would buy elite trainer boxes or booster boxes and I had all these codes and it was just like, people want the codes because they want other things that aren't available as a single card in the marketplace. So they're willing to, overpay by, monetary value for a single card if they're going to get a whole booster back. So
I see.
that's the way to do it. You just got to figure out what deck you want to build and then stay focused. Otherwise, if you,
man.
Otherwise it's like you get scatterbrained and then you're fucked because you just open everything and it's just like you don't pull shit and you're like, I need more.
Oh man, I do need at least like one more Vika Volt to make it work. Oh,
Adam, make
no.
it happen. Adam, we'll find one for you. Adam's really good at tracking that shit down. We'll find one for you.
I will say my barber was very excited when I told him, was like, dude, I got into Pokemon cards. What's up, man? And then he said like, oh, you're doing it wrong, dude. Forget buying individual boosters, buy a box. And then he was
So
telling me
many
about
bad-
booster boxes and how much like I'll save in the long run. And then he said, you know what? Forget booster boxes. And I'm like, well, you just what?
The case.
He said, no. You got to buy a case.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know a guy that can get you a case.
So I'd say for the fact that you want to do online stuff, I'd say getting a booster box is definitely worth it because you get 36 code cards.
Okay.
So it infinitely grows your collection just right then and there.
Oh no.
All right, we're shifting gears.
Yeah, let's move on.
Because
Please.
otherwise
Yeah,
it's
you
like
play
we're just
Pokemon Go
contributing
too,
to
right?
bad behavior.
Yo, yeah.
That's what this
yeah.
podcast is supposed to be about.
So, look, it's not often that we have people on the show that are outside of the true core, Pokemon Go space. So I do want to pick your brain a little bit. You were at E3 this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
So something I wanted to ask is, do you think that mobile gaming at large, now of course focused towards Pokemon Go, but mobile gaming at large, do you think that they're going to start with the changing landscape of E3? Do you think mobile games will start penetrating that environment? Like, is it happening?
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean, you'll see booths like on the periphery of the show floor, away from like the big three. I guess this year it's just the big two being Nintendo and Microsoft, but you'll see booths in the periphery of like doing idle games and everything, and other AR GPS style games similar to Pokemon Go is still trying to like kind of capitalize on that. I mean, you have Square Enix, I should say, and one of the tentpole games they showed in their presentation was a Dragon Quest Pokemon Go style game.
Yep.
And for that to be in like their press conference itself was kind of huge, because I guess normally when like a big company will have a mobile game, it kind of gets shuttered off to the side, or like, hey, here's this, and okay, bye, it's gone now. But I definitely see with the changing landscape there to be room for more mobile games, or mobile games to be taken a little bit more seriously. Because, I mean, I think the beauty part of Pokemon Go, and I think where Nintendo, Game Freak, Niantic see the dollar signs, is that everyone is pretty much able to play.
Right. Super accessible.
Incredibly accessible for anyone. And I don't know how it is in your respective Pokemon Go scenes, but over here in San Francisco, where I'm at, there'll be like young adults, teenagers, and like quite a lot of older folks. Like I'll see like people like grandparents of acquaintances of mine raiding
Aww.
and giving rides to other Pokemon Go players.
Well, we see that a lot, and it's funny because you'll see the transition of like, yeah, I'm playing on my kid account, and it's like, dude, I've never seen your fucking kid once. I see you every day raiding. It's like, that's it's always an eclectic mix, and I think that's what kind of plays to the success of the game socially. Is
totally,
you don't need to be it's not like 12-year-olds playing Fortnite that can do it from home. You have to be out there driving around and going from location to location. Kids can't really do that without the help of an adult.
Yeah, 100%.
The fact that it's not, and I hear it a lot too on Bombcast when they're talking about, guys getting older and their eyes are starting to go and their reflexes are starting to go. It's like, it's not a Twitch-based game. So, you have that ability to have prolonged use of this game, and you don't need those super fast reflexes and stuff. So it lends itself to someone that's a little bit more casual in the mechanical ability to play a game.
Yeah. And on top of that, I mean, barrier of entry is very low. Playing a PC game can be very daunting for some folks because they don't want to invest all the money in getting a huge rig and then maintaining that. Sometimes getting a home console is almost too much for older folks or younger folks, or parents wanting to buy their child a PS4, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, like, here's this spare phone. Have at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I feel like, oh God, like all the little kids I see playing with their family, they're just playing on an iPad that's just tethered to their parents' phone.
Yeah, on a hotspot or something like that. And
yeah,
it's, I think Niantic has done a really good job of letting this game and maintaining this game able to run on devices that are, 4 or 5 years old even.
Yeah.
And, they make it pretty clear, like, hey, we're going to start, we'll stop supporting, this device in 6 months. And they really do a good job of putting that out there, of letting people know, like, hey, maybe it might be time that you're going to need to upgrade your device, but because it's not so tolling on the device itself, it's very accessible because you can run it on your old ass iPad 2 or whatever, you know what I mean? As long as you have a current current iOS in there. But
yeah.
That's great, man. And we're running long, so I don't want to keep you much longer, man, but I do want to thank you thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's like I feel like I could fucking talk for hours about Go and TCG, man. You gotta hook up with Adam on TCGO because he's on there all the time now, so we'll definitely hook up. And
I would be happy to come back on. Put me on wherever. I'll do anything.
Yes!
Oh, fun.
All right, awesome.
We love having you.
Hell yeah, dude. That's so awesome. But why don't you let our community know where they can find you and where you'd like us to send some of our community to check out what you're doing.
Lovely. On Twitter, I am @_Jan Jerome over there. Check out all my stuff that I work on giantbomb.com. I have a Pokemon show that mostly happens on Tuesdays, even though the name would lead you to believe it should happen on Mondays and Monday nights. But due to scheduling, Tuesdays and sometimes not Tuesdays, where we play competitive Let's Go thinking about switching it up to do the trading card game online against the community and whoever wants to pop on and whatnot.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah, today's the first day that
so
we kind of launched that in our Discord.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're trying to convert the Go heads over to the TCGO, and it's working. So it's, yeah, it's
beautiful.
The sickness is
beautiful.
growing. But Jan, thank you so incredibly much. I'll put a link to your Twitter in the description, and of course, giantbomb.com. Definitely send some traffic that way from our little humble Go community here, because I think that it's very important to support outlets that give representation to not only Pokemon but Pokemon Go, and also kind of integrate that into the overall gaming space. I think it's hypercritical to support brands and outlets that do that. So thank you so much for fighting the good fight, man, and repping Pokemon, because it really means a lot to the core community to have someone that is a voice of Pokemon fans, in the grand scheme of things. So thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We did too.
And, we'll definitely get you back on once Sword and Shield comes out, and hopefully we'll hook up on TCGO.
I'll be a couple Pokemon trading card game cases later.
Yes,
oh no.
Yes. All right, maybe we'll start getting into splitting cases. Then that's a whole thing too.
No. Oh no! I'm gonna be at the local card tourney selling cards out of my trunk.
You could have them lined pages dangling from the inside of your trench coat. You open it up. Hey,
what are you
man,
selling, stranger?
I got what you need.
I almost bought a trench coat today, actually. So it's funny you say.
There you go. There you go. Line that shit with 9 sleeve pages and all that. But dude, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll definitely send some traffic your way. Thank you so much. Everyone else, we'll be back in a moment. We'll start talking about all this Pokemon Go, Team Go, Rocket bullshit that we got going on right now. And damn, I just want to open boosters now. This is so bad. All right, guys. We'll see you later, and everyone else will be back right after these dope slowpoke beats.
Oh.
Hold up, everyone. Are you ready for a sing-along? Slowpoke in a reggae style. Pokemon. Come in. Slow.
Crash
If I
landed,
could tell you
folks.
how bad I want to just blow my brains out right now.
We're back from our break. Thank you, guys. Jan Ochoa, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jan.
He was great.
He was.
Fantastic.
He was a lot of fun.
Pleasure.
Yes,
The best.
very, very cool. So psyched. Just it's cool hearing Pokemon people in big games media. It's fucking awesome. Super cool. Thanks so much for coming on. So everyone, make sure you check out giantbomb.com. Support those guys. Really good shit. All right, we're going to get caught up with all the Team Rocket madness that's been going on. There's a lot of it. It's crazy. There's been ups, there's been downs, and I want to make sense of it all. So, all right, this is where it started. So on the 22nd, Team Rocket started taking over the stops. We knew this was coming. We didn't know when it was going to happen, but on the 22nd, it started happening. Here and there, stops were happening. I didn't see shit. I didn't see anything. There was none in my area at all, but people were showing them online. It was, we knew that they were out there, but I didn't see any. And then on the 23rd, the Pokemon Go Twitter account puts out a tweet saying they've mysteriously stopped. We don't know what's going on. And everyone was kind of scratching their head going, is this them trying to cover for a fuck up? Is this them trying to cover for it being buggy because there was a lot of bugs? We didn't really know. And then finally on the 25th, we get a full trailer, Team Rocket's taking over, and they start to tell this narrative, and they put out a blog post on PokemonGoLive.com talking about telling the story. And I think that once they started telling the story, it kind of reinvigorated and re-engaged the community because they did a good job of telling the story. So They say, they get the team leaders involved. They say Spark and Professor Willow are observing Team Go Rocket hanging out at Pokestops. All right. Candela and Professor Willow are discovering Shadow Pokemon. We also then learn Shadow Pokemon can't be traded. During the first time they were there, you could trade them. It was fucking around with 100% Pokemon, so I think they dialed that back. Then they say Blanche and Professor Willow discover the purification process. We learn that when you purify a Pokemon, it jumps up to level 25, huge increase to CP, and +2 to all IVs. So, you could catch a Shadow Pokemon with 13 IVs. If you purify it, it'll then go to perfect, 15. So, we know that when you purify, the Pokemon becomes much higher level, much stronger, and increases the IVs. All right, so that was where it all started. Stops were here and there. I was maybe seeing 2 or 3 a day. I know people like Terry Wolf that were out there hunting, even before this event that was today. I mean, I think he had like 40 or 50 in the bag already. Wow. So they were out there, but you had to go looking for them. Melissa, we saw like 2, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw like a couple here and there in our neighborhood, but there wasn't a lot going on. But then they release an event. Now, you got to remember, too, the Straw Hat Pikachu event is going on, and this event kind of hijacked the Straw Hat Pikachu event, and they've done this before.
Which is not bad, because the Straw Hat Pikachu is stupid, especially because you can't revolve it into a Straw Hat Raichu.
Yeah.
Do you
People were not excited about it.
Is that purposeful?
I think that they did that purposely because this was a promotion. So they wanted to keep it limited to Pikachu. That's also why we didn't see the Straw Hat Pichu. You know what I mean?
But it's also not Straw Hat. It's the One Piece hat.
The Luffy hat. Yeah, you know what I mean? But no one was really excited about it. No, I think people are done with fucking hat Pikachus at large. They just done with it. But what was it, like out for 3 or 4 days and then they dropped the Team Rocket thing? So that overshadowed the Straw Hat Pikachu thing completely. They're still spawning. Still spawning today, but obviously it's not on the front of anyone's mind. But they put out another blog post, they put out a trailer, and from the 25th through August 1st, 4 new shinies come out. Coughing, Ekans, those were the ones in the announcement. Then it also comes out that Zubat and Sneasel are also shiny. We get new special research called A Troubling Situation, which is more of like a hand-holdy tutorial of the Team Rocket process of taking over Pokestops and Shadow Pokemon and purifying and all that. Not much to it, in and out. It's real easy to finish. And we get tons and tons and tons of Team Rocket-based hatches and raid bosses. So we have a shit ton of raid bosses right now. Adam, you want to run through some of these? Because some of them here are new that we've never seen before in raids.
All right, so for Tier 1... we have Ekans, Zubat, Meowth, Cubone, and Coughing.
Fucking Meowth. I get it. It's the Team Rocket thing, but
they should have given it to us shiny.
Shiny. If they gave it to us shiny, then it'd be...
Yeah, why didn't they make... Of all the new shinies, why didn't they do Meowth?
Listen, and during this event, I was taking... I took a little bit of time off, and I was taking some pictures, and Meowth was... Team Rocket was photobombing, but the reward was a Meowth.
Right.
That's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking so stupid.
If it didn't have a exclusive move like Payday or something, like it wasn't worth it. Or if it wasn't shiny, it's just kind of annoying.
Yep.
So Tier 2, we've got Sandslash, Gloom, Magneton, Muck, and Sneasel. The only exciting one is Sneasel. Tier 3, we have Alolan Raichu, Machamp, Gengar, and Hypno. Tier 4, we have Victory Bell, Marowak, Houndoom, and Absol. Tier 5, we still have Armored Mewtwo for a little while, and Deoxys Attack Form. Or Speed Form.
So, the Sneasel shiny is awesome. Melissa, I don't know if you saw it, but it's bright pink.
That's awesome.
It's
I
like
haven't seen it yet.
Pepto-Bismol pink.
I love that.
It's really cool. The Coughing is an amazing color.
Green.
It's like this weird aquamarine-ish, tealish. Really, really cool. I'm seeing Coughing and Ekans fucking everywhere. Not a single shiny for me. No event shinies for me. Adam, any shinies?
Nothing.
Same?
Nope.
Yeah.
I still don't even have any of the Alolan shinies.
I don't have any of those either. But
why wouldn't they put in the Raid 1 tiers like the Alolan Meowth so that we had a chance to have the shiny? That would have been cool if the whole level 1 tiers was all shiny.
Usually they do that, and now it's the oddball out is Meowth. That's weird.
Maybe because they're trolling us. They're like, haha, go fuck yourselves. Here's a stupid meow.
Okay, let's talk about trolling. Let's talk about trolling, because there was a serious fucking Team Rocket trolling that happened last night at midnight. We're going to get there in a second. So the next thing that happens, and I need to pull up these pictures so Melissa can check this shit out, because it was really freaking cool. So we started to see...
I saw this, actually.
Really cool images on social media, and I got to give a huge shout out to the social media team at Niantic and Pokémon Company for putting this campaign together, because it was absolutely amazing across social media and in real life, where they had New York City, in Manhattan, Times Square area, billboards, bus stops, bills, all posted everywhere on buses, all Team Rocket stuff everywhere. It was really freaking cool. They had planes flying, pulling banners, it was a major promotional push. It was really cool. And they put out another blog post saying Team Rocket is infiltrating New York City. They put out these great images, and all of the Pokestops in New York City go black, get taken over by Team Rocket. Fucking awesome. I had a friend of mine that competed in my Jungle Cup that I hosted today, who happened to be in New York City for a job when this went down, so he was able to take advantage of that. And he showed me some images of, where he was. He was at the famous 7-stop, place in New York City. And, it was awesome just seeing everything kind of taken over. But there was a bunch of glitches in the real world with us, with things going on. People were struggling, like you would only be able to access Great League Pokemon when you were going up against Team Rocket. Like Melissa was experiencing that, where I was able to pick my full roster of Pokemon, but Melissa could only choose Pokemon up to 1,500.
Yeah.
Same. So, that was how my event was. And the frustration level has never been so high. Something like, I know that I'm like, I have a fully maxed, ready to go Azumarill that is PvP ready to it. It's like top 1 or 1 to 5. Like, it's in the top 5 of the Azumarills. And I'm like, it's a Charmander. I have type coverage, type advantage. I know what I'm doing, and I can't beat it.
Well, there was weird fucking bugs, because I had 3
Moltres trying to beat a Bulbasaur.
Same shit happened to me. I had access to all of my Pokemon, so I had a 98% Mewtwo, 100% Kyogre, 98% Groudon, and I got swept by a Bulbasaur like multiple times. I was like, "What is going on here?" There was something was just not right. And you would see their CP, and, their CP are higher, not raid boss level, but you would still see CPs 4,000, 6,000, 7,000, and you would beat the first Pokemon that the Grunt would have, and in the next Pokemon it wouldn't show the CP, and then it would just wreck you. So there was some weirdness going on. I think all that, for the most part, has been worked out. After this New York thing was going on, for the first time ever, Pokemon Go puts a countdown clock live stream on YouTube, and just started counting down, and they had the live stream running, and it was big. I mean, at any time you jump into this live stream, which is literally just a countdown on the screen, there was a couple thousand people concurrently watching it. Like, people were engaged. And it would end at midnight last night. And that also happened to be 4 p.m. in Australia, New Zealand area. So you have all the YouTubers, tons of content and media outlets covering this countdown clock, waiting for what's happening. All this Team Rocket, something's big is going to happen. Of course, everyone's wearing tinfoil hats, and they're like, Giovanni is coming. There's going to be all this crazy shit. And 12 o'clock happens.
Well, they teased his shadow. So
dude, the live stream just ended. It literally ended.
That's fantastic.
And
I was watching JT Gillies.
Dude, JT Gilly had the best fucking stream ever, because he's watching. He's like, all right, y'all, it's 12. It's because it's 9 o'clock their time. He's like, it's 9:05. Like, what's going on? And then like the stream ends. He goes, wait a second, they just ended the stream. This can't be happening. Like, everyone was set up to do these reaction videos, and it just ended, and everyone was like completely confused. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Now, we never connected the dots, but about 10 minutes after the stream ends, they put a blog post out saying, Team Rocket is taking over the world. Today, Sunday the 28th, from 4 to 5 p.m., all Pokestops will be taken over by Team Rocket, local time. And we didn't connect the dots, But when the stream ended, it was 4 o'clock in New Zealand, which is typically the start of these events. So that's when it started. So it was the ultimate fucking Team Rocket troll. They put out a 13-second video of Team Rocket just saying, like, we're here, and that was it. And then it was like a series of tweets that came out going like, hey, twerps, we're taking over. Like, they got that shit off because everyone was ready to, like, throw fisticuffs. People were pissed. Like, I heard, like, this giant sigh across the internet of people, like, from anger to what the hell is going on to, like, you dirty rat, you motherfuckers. Like, it was the funniest shit. Like, were you watching it live, Adam?
Yes.
Did you think something was wrong? Like,
I thought something was wrong, and I'm like, man, you know, and with JT Gilly, he's like, you know, they could save it. You know, I could see him. You know, he was trying to be in the positive, and he's just like, nah. We got trolled. It was
so funny. That meme of, like,
he didn't even know how to, like, end the stream.
Like,
he's just
I know. He's like, because he was like, he thought he was doing something wrong. He was like, what? He's like, refreshing. Like, what's going on here? And then, like, all of a sudden it just goes to the next video in his queue. And he's like, what's going, like, how? What do you? It was fucking hilarious. So I don't know if they had that intention of making it seem like a troll. I have no fucking idea, but either way, it came off like the ultimate Team Rocket troll. So whether or not that was intentional, Team Rocket got that shit off because people were pissed. People were like, you know, and everyone was kind of like laughing about it afterwards. But man, a lot of hopes were shot down because people really thought something big was coming. Now, there still might be more to this because over the day today, Team Rocket, who's taken over the Pokemon Go Twitter account, was posting pictures of the hot air balloon, flying over Canada, talking about Pachirisu, flying over Brazil, talking about Chatot, flying over the States, talking about Tauros, teasing all this stuff with regional Pokemon. So maybe something is going to happen.
Do a shake-up of the regionals?
Maybe, or something like that. Or there'll be some way where we battle Team Rocket and the rewards can be potential regional Pokemon because, you know, they've captured them. Now they're in our area. It's bizarre.
Or but if they were shadowed versions of those Pokemon.
They did a good job.
That. They wouldn't do that. That's too much.
But then you can't have, you know, then it's like exclusive. You know what I mean? You still have to go there to get the original one.
I don't know.
Well, you can purify it, but
you got to remember though.
But even if you purify it, you still can't trade it, right?
Purified can.
Oh.
You could trade the purified version, not the shadow. Because when you because you re-roll the IVs when you trade, and then when you purify, you get the +2. So it's a little confusing. But
Snorlax.
I got the Shadow Snorlax. Let me talk about Shadow Snorlax really quick. So 10 minutes before the event today, I was, you know, driving through Red Bank. There's 40 stops in Red Bank. I found the Snorlax, and it was Snorlax, Dragonite. That's who I had to go up against. And let me tell you, I got fucking wrecked, absolutely demolished. And I had to like build my parties out. I brought my 100% Machamp, 100% Hariyama, a Lapras for, you know, Dragonite. And it wasn't until I kind of got lucky with shields and charge moves and things like that I was able to take it down. But it was really challenging. Now, the problem with the challenge is it didn't feel like a skill-based challenge. It felt like a cheap-ass challenge. Like, you shouldn't be able to do this much damage to me. Like, it felt weird. I don't know if anyone else experienced that. Let me know if you faced like that. Like, if when you get wrecked by a Bulbasaur, it's not like you're saying, "Oh my God, this Bulbasaur is so strong." It's like, no, it shouldn't be able to hurt me this bad. You know, I could be fighting a 49,000 CP Mewtwo, and it's not going to hit me this hard. Why is this 25 CP Bulbasaur taking out half my, you know, hit points with one hit?
Because he's shadowed.
It was weird. It was weird. But I got the Shadow Snorlax, which was fucking awesome because it's super badass, and I'm flexing it with my buddy right now. It's badass.
Yeah, I got one too.
You got the Dratini too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Still don't have the Mudkip though.
I saw nothing but fucking rats and bats today. Rats and bats everywhere I looked. That's all I got, and the Snorlax. So there was not much diversity in my area. I was able, in the 4 to 5 o'clock hour, I was able to do 22 stops. And that's with having to take 7 or 8 minutes to do leading into it with the Snorlax that, you know, I picked up right before the event started. That carried me past the start time. That was really, really difficult. But let us know what you guys think about the countdown. Did you take it as a trolling? Are you pissed? Do you think this was intentional? I definitely want to hear from you guys because it seems like the internet was really pissed. And even like Mystic 7 put out a video like, did they drop the ball? Did they fuck this up? Like it's weird. I don't know if this was intentional. They did such an amazing job with this campaign. It seems too weird that they would just, I don't know, they just ended the stream. It's too weird. Too weird. All right, let's shift gears away from Team Rocket here. Adam, I want to talk about this because you said you agreed with me at the top of the show. And Melissa, this is something I want to talk to you about too, where we've been talking about PvP IVs and how you kind of have to reconnect with IVs in a different way. So, because you're so used to the best Pokemon being the best for raids, being the best for gyms, but you want on paper the worst Pokemon for PvP. Doesn't make sense, right? I think that I haven't done a good job of explaining this because when we talk about PvP, we're typically talking about competitive PvP and the Silph Arena, which is Great League only. So when it comes to the Great League and you have a 1500 CP cap, that's really the only scenario that you're going to really need to worry about lower IVs or a unique IV spread because you want a higher level Pokemon at 1500 CP. So if you remove the Silph Arena and the Great League or even the Ultra League from the picture of PvP, you do want the best IVs.
Okay, so that makes it even more stupid. Because now you have two different ways of playing. Now you have two different ways of playing PvP, but you have to play them differently.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Because if you're in the Master League,
dude,
you want the best ones.
Just make it the best fucking ones, please. Like, make it the best ones and make your knowledge of type be what makes or breaks you.
All right, so Pokemon Go Hub puts out a fantastic article. I'll link to it in the description. That kind of breaks down PvP IVs for both hardcore players and casual players. There's a lot of fucking mathematical formulas, a la old Trainer Tips videos when he would show like mathematical formulas on the screen. Like, it shows all that. How the calculations are done of how IVs influence CP when taking level into account. Exceptionally technical shit. Exceptionally technical. Nerd. If you're hardcore, look into that. It'll help you understand break points, bulk points, and all that good stuff. But for casuals, or people that don't care about the IVs so much, it reminds us that there is the Master League. There is things outside of the Great League in PvP that will help you use your gym and raid meta Pokemon in the PvP setting. So you don't necessarily have to be focused on this crazy IV bullshit. Like Melissa said, what can make it competitive is your knowledge of type, your knowledge of moveset. Things like, understanding what Pokemon to use first, when to switch, the battle mechanics, undertapping, overtapping, the new charge move mechanics, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff kind of gets lost in the sauce when we talk about Great League meta that's relevant to the Silph Arena. So it's like, I definitely think I'm guilty here because whenever we've talked about PvP and IVs, I've always talked about it like the Great League and Silph Arena was the only way to play PvP. It's not. So this is what I like everyone out there to do. Do some PvP battles with your friend. Battle in the fucking Master League. Don't do the Great League. Battle in the Master League. Go outside of the box. That way you can use your 100% Mewtwo. You can use your good IV Pokemon. That way, what's going to matter is your shield maintenance, your charge move timing, the way you're attacking moveset. Those are the things outside of the IV spectrum that can make PvP engaging. So, I don't know. Adam, what do you think, man? You like, when was the last time you did a Master League PvP battle?
Today for the Team Rocket Go thing.
Okay. Yeah,
But otherwise, I don't remember.
Yeah, like against the human.
I don't think ever.
That's what I mean. It's like we've been so trained because of the Silph Arena to be limited to Great League. It's like there's so much more. We've been putting blinders on ourselves. So what I'd like everyone to do, get out there, battle some people in Master League, use those big dog Pokemon that you have, that you've already invested in for the raids, you've already invested in them as defenders. Use those Pokemon. because we're missing out. I think we're leaving a lot on the table here. Let us know. Email us, info@luredup.com. Leave us a voicemail. I'll leave the number at the end of the show. Let us know what you guys think of this, because I think that we're doing ourselves a disservice by pigeonholing PvP to just the hashtag battlers mentality of Great League and Silpharina. I don't know. That's what I think, because Melissa, you'd probably be more inclined to do PvP if you could use the Pokemon you already have powered up, right? Like, that you wouldn't have to worry about this IV bullshit. You just use your best Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So,
yeah, it'd be easier to just walk in and say, okay, there's a tournament, and the typings are fire, water, grass.
Right.
Exactly.
And
you're like, well, I should probably have one of each.
And then you have to worry about what Pokemon am I going to lead with?
Yeah.
What am I going to switch to when my opponent uses fire? Whatever. Like,
yeah, there's a different
they
type of
swap out for
strategy
water.
as opposed to you're using strategy as opposed to number crunching, which is a completely different thing.
That's that's exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm totally guilty of that. So sorry, everybody.
Yeah, because I hate number crunching. I hate it.
Right, and I'm
nerd.
Well, I'm not nerd.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and so look. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you're gonna err on the side of being a hardcore player. But if you want to get more people involved in PvP, especially like your friends that aren't in the podcast space and aren't watching YouTubers every day, but they still play Pokemon Go, engage them with PvP in the Master League. That way they can use the Pokemon that they already have, they're already emotionally connected to because they use them in raids, and they get more bang for their buck with Stardust. So, I don't know. I think that's super important. Let us know what you guys think, because I think I got to put more focus on education and spreading the gospel of PvP when it comes to Master League. Melissa's giving me the finger right now. Oh, she broke her nail. Oh my God.
Do you see how it's broken?
I was just looking at the fact that you were giving me the middle finger. I wasn't looking at your nail. But that's pretty.
It hurts so bad right now. I want to cry. I can't even tell you.
That's pretty fucking ugly. That looks scary. All right. Let's get into this. You know what? We got a couple of listener emails here. I got a good message on Twitter the other day from Just Jack. I want to go through. Kind of long, but it sums up at the end here. And this is an interesting topic that we could probably go into depth in the future. It says, with the announcement of Ralts Community Day, we'll talk about that in the miscellaneous news section. I've seen people talk about introducing the move Hypnosis. I'm sure Hypnotic Melodic would love that. And therefore sleep status conditions in the game. While I realize PvP needs to become deeper, how can we balance status conditions? In the main series, sleep is limited by having low accuracy moves like Hypnosis and Sleep Powder, or giving Spore to weaker Pokemon like Amoonguss to make it better. With accuracy not being a thing in Pokemon Go currently, if a Pokemon uses Hypnosis, it would just put a Pokemon to sleep, and because of the real-time nature of PvP, you'd instantly be able to kill it. Paralysis and poison would probably be slightly easier to control, as you'd still be able to fight back. Now, this is Ken speaking here. This is how he sums it up in this question. This is what I'll respond to. He says, "Do you think adding status moves would add to the game, and would it be unbalanced and bring the hacks element to the game that the main series players hate? And how do you think it can be balanced?" Great fucking question. That's the one thing from the main series that's still missing from Pokemon Go.
I think they need to pin it to charge moves, and then I feel like if it was Hypnosis or Paralyzed or Freezing, I think if it's any one of those, it would make you not be able to use your you'd be slow and wouldn't be able to use your fast move once.
That's exactly
I think
how
that's
I would do it.
The only way, and it has to be limited to charge moves, because if it was just your fast move, Poison Jab,
you'd spam it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when it comes to fast moves in PvP, there's a duration, and even though it's not turn-based, each fast move has a turn counter. So and that's going to be how fast you're going to be able to fire off the fast move. It might take half a turn, 1 turn, 2 turns. So if each status condition move, like let's say there is Hypnosis or Sleep, would have a proc effect where 10% of the time the sleep would actually affect. And then you could say for 2 turns, meaning two firings of your fast move, you're not going to be able to fire that off. And that's going to be the same and consistent from Pokemon to Pokemon. That's how it can remain balanced. So where you could have a move like, Ominous Wind that, will have a 10% chance to lower defense. You could have something like Sleep that has a 10% chance to put a Pokemon to sleep for 2 turns. I think that's going to be the only way out of it. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the only way they could do it, is by limiting the ability to use fast moves through a sometimes effect of a charge move. That's the only way I think it can happen. Just Jack, great fucking question. It's the one thing that's missing. And I think that adds a whole nother layer to PvP that I think this is the way they'd have to do it, because just like you're saying with the hacks element in the main series where people just, will go, grief you and just put you to sleep the whole freaking time and, just slowly take you apart. It loses the fun of the PvP, and the way PvP is in Go, that's fast paced and, tapping, that wouldn't work. It would totally take away from it and you would just get wrecked. So great question. I think that's something I'd like to explore further. And I look forward to what Niantic does here, because I think that's the only thing that's missing.
Or, they bring in a swipe technique to, like, oh, you're asleep, like, try to wake up, kind of like Wizards Unite, where they, you have to do a spell correctly, and that could give you the chance. Like, if you do an excellent, you automatically wake up, but if not...
Like, it's a skill-based thing to wake up? That could be cool, too. Interesting. All right, next one is an email from Owens the Prince. He says, "Hey guys, Owens the Prince here, but my real name is Josh. I'm a patron of the podcast. Thank you so much. And I think, what do you guys think of being able to trade with NPCs? Like in the main series games when you trade for a certain Pokemon. It could be similar to when Team Rocket integration goes live. Obviously, this was before today. An NPC could randomly be at a Pokestop and requests a certain Pokemon. Would be a nice little surprise and great to me, as I want every Pokemon lucky in the decks. It would be an extra shot at that. Anyway, peace out."
Oh, that's a cute idea.
That's a cool idea. Because in the main series games, like if you're in a Pokecenter, you'll have that one person sitting in the corner saying like, "Oh, I really love Geodude. Come back to me if you find one." That's fucking cool. Great idea. Because that way, if you don't have real life friends, or you're not in proximity to someone that you could trade with, you still have the ability to engage in trades. And what this made me think of kid accounts.
I was just going to say that.
It will allow them to trade, at least take part in trades, because they're not, it's not, bridging that gap of social that allows them to still do it because they're trading with an NPC player. That's Owens, great idea. I think that's something that Niantic should look into. And if anything, I would submit this to Niantic support, or, some way to get this out there, because it's a great fucking idea. And it got me thinking, even like a store, a marketplace, something where there's an economy in the game where you can, like,
they have
you
a
could
store.
sell, 100 Pokeballs for whatever half the coins are that it costs.
Yeah, like in the main series, you have a bunch of potions, you can go and dump them.
Why would they ever let you do that?
Yeah, I guess.
Why would they ever give you free money? Get over yourselves.
No,
You're
but not for Pokecoins, but for
you're right.
No, not for Pokecoins, for other items.
Why would they ever do that? That's so dumb.
Yeah,
you're
right.
I'm done.
If anything,
The internet won.
If anything, the only way it would work is if they gave you just XP or Stardust.
Ooh, Stardust. That's the answer.
Trading items for Stardust.
Because you can't buy Stardust. You could buy star pieces, but you can't buy numbers. You can't buy Stardust. That's a good... Yep.
But they still won't do it.
And it ranges anywhere from 20 to 100 Stardust.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Similar
but you
to
could say,
berry.
Here's 50 berries. Right. Well, it would have to be more than what you would get from dumping berries to a gym, but...
You know what? Now that I think about it, this is probably why they're never going to do person-to-person trading of items, because it'll prevent you from buying. Everyone will just trade shit. You won't. People won't have reasons to buy the fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm with Owens though. I'm with Owens the Prince here. Let me trade Pokemon with NPCs. Pokemon for Pokemon.
Yes, I think that's fine.
Yep.
And then make them have random nicknames
that you can't change.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that you would trade with them. But all right, let's do a
He's
little miscellaneous news here before we get into our Ray God and Battle Party. Like I alluded to earlier, Ralts will be our community day, which it's next week. It's next Saturday already. So this is the first time that we have a community day with a split evolution, male, female, Gardevoir, Gallade. So just getting your 3 isn't going to do it for you. You're going to need...
You have to get your 4.
you got to get 4, but not just any 4. You have to have the male and the female at least. So if you get 3 females, that's not going to be enough. So it puts a little bit more pressure on, and potentially, you know, more reason to trade with people if they need it. Kind of like when they did Clamperl Day. You know, people, there was no poor reversal. Remember, he evolved 8 Clamperl and they all became Gorbis or whatever. So I like this, but Ralts Community Day, Saturday, August 3rd. All right, let's jump over to Go Ranger really quick for a quick check-in.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger check-in.
Like we said, Straw Hat Pikachu will be gone by the time you hear this. Sorry, Luffy. Bye-bye. Armored Mewtwo will be going away on the 31st.
Thank God.
What's next?
Something good, hopefully. Shiny Rayquaza.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be nice. It's in the middle of the summer. Come on.
But you think it'll be a rehash, or you think it'll be something new, or do you think it'll be something to do with Team Rocket? Shadow Lugia?
I'm sure it has to do with Team Rocket. They're hyping it too much right now.
Could it be the regionals? I don't know.
Legendary.
What could they put into your 5?
Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, and they're all Shadow.
What about a Shadowed Mewtwo?
Oh, Shadow. You know, I think it was FLW video. Oh, Shadow Mewtwo would be fucking tight. Like in Pokken Tournament, there's Shadow Mewtwo. But FLW video said that he was expecting the birds to come back as Shadow form. So maybe that's what we see. But let us know what you guys, you know, think over the next couple days. You know, what do you think is coming? A day after this podcast release, Armor Mewtwo goes away. The Team Rocket takeover that we have with the, you know, increased spawns of Ekans and Coughing, that goes through August 1st. And we have GoFest Yokohama on August 5th. So we get our final global challenge going on. All right, let's jump over to our Hypno raid guide and battle party. Guys, it's a battle party.
It's a what?
It's a battle party.
Woo, woo, battle party. Woo, woo.
Yo.
That's how we have to do it. Adam has to start it first every time, and we just follow him.
But he's done that before, and we fucked it up. That was good.
No, because he just didn't stop. He just went, and we just
that was
him.
Good. We did it. Oh, I'm excited.
Nailed it.
We done it.
All right, Hypno Raid Guide and Battle Party. This info is going to be coming from PokeBattler.com. Hypno is a Psychic-type Pokemon Tier 3 Raid Boss, 13,758 CP.
He's got a big nose.
He does have a weird nose. Weak to Dark, Bug, and Ghost. Unfortunately, when it comes to counters, the Bugs don't really hold their own here. Its moveset is all Psychic moves. Zen Headbutt, Confusion. But it has an exceptionally diverse charge moveset. It could have the Psychic moves, Future Sight, and Psychic. It could have Fire Punch. It could have Focus Blast. It could have Ice Punch. It could have Thunder Punch. Lots of moves. So you're going to want to make it, you know, pay attention to the weather here, because specific weather is going to boost specific moves that might influence who you want to bring as a counter. Perfect Catch is going to be 1194, and in windy weather, 1493. So again, those magic numbers, 1194 and 1493. Best overall counters per PokeBattler.com. No specific moves. Adam, are you taking Go Snapshots?
I just did. Sorry.
I think you're the only person I know that uses the shutter sound.
No, my volume's literally volume's down and little like things on the side.
No,
your volume's not down because we just heard it.
It is all the way down.
It's
an iPhone 5. It doesn't work right.
In the settings.
Best overall counters per PokeBattler with unknown moveset. Gengar, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Giratina Origin Form, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Banette, Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Mewtwo, this is an interesting one, Psycho Cut, Shadow Ball. Note the fast move here, because Psycho Cut is going to be will charge the Shadow Ball quickest. Shadow Ball is obviously what you're going to need to do the big damage here, legacy move. Weavile with Feint Attack, Foul Play, and Deoxys Attack Form, Poison Jab, Dark Pulse. All right, I'm bringing 2 Gengar, 2 Giratina, Banette, because when else am I going to use it? And Weavile. If I happen to have a big party with me, I'll throw Deoxys in place of one of those Gengars, because they're both glass cannons, so it really wouldn't matter. But Adam, what about you? What are you bringing?
I'm bringing 2 Giratina, my 100% Banette, my 100% Gengar, and a Mewtwo.
And Melissa, what about you?
I'm bringing 2 Gengar, 2 Mewtwo, and 2 Deoxys, because that's all I have.
You don't have a Banette? I think you have one.
Maybe one, but I'm sure it's trash.
All right.
Trash.
Well, I think I just said 5. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, you said 5.
So just 1 Giratina.
2 Giratinas. 3 Giratinas.
No, instead of bring...
No, he only picked 5.
Yeah, well, I have 2 100% Gengars. So
do you really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn you.
Damn.
Yeah, one is one's like the Oh,
You don't have Hex, do you?
The shiny one. The Lick and Psychic.
You got a shiny from the shiny day, the raid day? You have a shiny 100%?
No, I don't think it. No, it's not 100% shiny, but it's got those exclusive
It's the Lick.
moves.
Oh, the Lick, yeah. Still,
and then I have the normal one.
All right, so obviously the ghosts are what we're bringing here. That makes sense because it's weak to ghost. But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for checking us out. Man, this was a fun fucking show. Jan was so awesome. I'm so excited that we had him on.
The battle party came out nice and crisp.
Yep. Email us, info@luredup.com. Let us know what you think about what the viewer emails were from. Let us know what you think about PvP IVs and Master League. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys think. Leave us a voicemail, 732-835-8639. Check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything on the network. Check out LuredUp.com for everything that we're doing with the show. And that is going to wrap it up. You guys got anything else?
I'm good.
Just keep training, trainers.
You got it. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.